Okay, so this is the steel Trac band tractor I bought at an auction online. I haven't seen it before, just some bad pictures. I paid around $800 for it. Maybe that's a little bit expensive, but this is by far, I think, the coolest machine I ever seen in my life. So this will be fun to get going again. And the engine does turn around. A little bit of compression, but you can see here in the exhaust port that it is a little bit rusty, so I have to remove the head on the engine. I'm also gonna drain the oil. Hope it is not filled with just water. The carburetor, the throttle linkage is all seized up here. Nothing moves. The air cleaner is not so good. As you can see, I have to find me another one. Standing water in this one. Oh, it is in reverse, so it moves. It actually has a little bit of compression, but not enough. So I think it is the valves that is not sealing properly. So we're going to remove the cylinder head because I want to check why the compression is so low. Also, I want to see if there is any water or rust in the cylinder. So let's take this off. Doesn't look too bad. Yeah, I think I'm going to clean it as well. So thread this back for a couple of seconds. So the head gasket actually looks pretty nice. I think we're going to be careful with it, so we can reuse it if we want, because maybe we will start this engine up later today. So yeah, let's try to get it out in one piece. Okay, so this was a bit unexpected because this is looking perfect. I thought that this would look like something, yeah, like the cylinders of the Titanic or something, 100 years on the bottom of the ocean. But it actually looks very, very nice. I think the valves is good too. I'm gonna remove the valves and grind those in again so we get the proper seal. So yeah, really happy result. Perfect. So I'm just gonna give it a little bit of cleanup, see how the valves are looking. Okay, so I hope you can see this. I just finished cleaning up with wire brush, and I just removed the carbon, and this is how it turned out. The valve looks amazing, and the seat actually looks very good as well. The same thing with the intake valve. looks absolutely perfect. So I'm not gonna ground this in. I think this will seal up perfect. So we're gonna put it together and check if the compression is good now. So this is one of those flathead engines that you can't even adjust the valve clearance, so it is what it is. So we're just gonna put it together. There is a little channel that goes back to the crankcase, so the oil in here just takes that way down, and that is free. So I made a new gasket for this one. Now I hope we have some compression. Yes, a lot of compression. We're gonna check the spark. Okay. Didn't see any spark. I'll try it once more. Nope, no spark. I have to remove this fan cover because the ignition system is behind the flywheel. That's in here, so we have to remove this bucket to begin with, and then we will remove this one. So let's take it off. So here you can see the break points inside the ignition system, and they are pretty oxidized. So I'm gonna clean those, and hopefully we will get a healthy spark. So I'm gonna spin this around to the breaker points open, put a bit of fine sandpaper in there, close the points, pull this straight out. And you can see there that we have a little bit of oxidation. So we're gonna do this a couple of times. I think the break points will be ready. And I know some of you guys say that you don't want to use sandpaper because the breaking point should be totally even, but this is not because I want to remove material. I'm just gonna remove the oxidation on points, so it will work just fine. And finally, I'm gonna take this little piece of paper. This is gasket material. I have soaked this in paint thinner, so if there is any grease on points, we will get that out right now, because you don't want to have oil or grease on your breaking points. Same thing there. Put the paper in, close the points, just pull the paper out, and we should have the grease captured here on the paper instead of on the points. Okay, time to check the spark. I'm gonna turn the flywheel over by hand. Hopefully that will give us something. Yeah, and it actually looks pretty healthy. So I'm just checking the clearance between points here, and that should be 0.4 millimeters. And that's exactly what it is here, so that's good. Okay, so I'm gonna check the oil. Hopefully it's not full of water. Okay, so the oil is right on top and looks like new. I don't think I'm gonna start this engine before I swap the oil, because if it looks new and is at the right level, there shouldn't be any water in it, so I'm gonna leave that for now. The inlet for the fuel is broken there. I'm gonna see if I have something else that we can use, maybe. A little bit of water in here. It moves. Okay, so I think the time has come for a first test start. We have compression, we have spark, and now we also have fuel. I just put this little bottle and hose straight down. Carburetor seems to be sealed up, doesn't leak anything. This is two-stroke fuel. I don't have any unmixed gasoline, so but that will work just fine. If you remember, this was stuck in reverse. Here is the gear shifters. It is a linkage inside this tube going all the way down in here to the gearbox. But I got this freed up, sprayed it with some oil. I think I'm gonna pour some gasoline straight into the carburetor. Like that. Okay, 1, 2, 3. No. I saw some smoke coming out though. It runs, but it sounds like it's not getting enough fuel at the low RPMs. And it was some of the nozzles in the carburetor that someone at some time has tried to get loose but didn't succeed, so they was pretty messed up. And there was a very small channel in this carburetor, very strange construction, I think. So I had a hard time cleaning those. I thought they were clean, but I don't know, but we're gonna leave it like it is for now. The engine runs. I don't have any muffler, so I had to find me something because it's pretty loud, as you can understand maybe. But it runs anyway, so that's a good thing. So I think we're gonna continue with the tires now. I'm gonna check the oil. Now when it has been run a little bit. Yeah, so now the oil is a little bit grey, so there is some water in, probably. The previous owner changed the oil to a new oil, but it was still some water left in the crankcase. So when it started up now, the water mixed with the oil. It's not that bad, but I'm gonna change it anyway. So we have a fresh new oil. So the tires on this machine are quite bad. The front one is okay, but the other one is pretty messed up. This one as well. You can see the inner tube sticking out there. And this is a 5-bolt rim. And yesterday I drove out to my father's place and I found one rim with 5 bolts with a good tire. And I found one rim with 4 bolts with a good tire, so I will take it off and put it on that rim instead. But this one I hope I just can bolt on straight away. Here we go. Bearing feels good. So, moment of truth. Yes! It's perfect. Oops. Take some oil on those threads as well. Where do I keep my oil? bad tire right there. And it is from Norway, tire, and the machine is also from Norway. Just stands Norsk Fabrikat here. So I called a friend of mine because I needed 2 new rubbers for the small tires here as well. And then I just took the big tire with me and he fixed it as well. He has proper machines for it, so it took just 5 minutes. And here is the other Trac laying outside that we're gonna mount later on here. So yeah, let's go. So I ended up just welding some chain links together here, and that's how it is on this machine original, so I think it will hold up just fine. On the other side he has used some exhaust clamps and doesn't look too pretty, but hey, it will work for now anyway. The handles here are quite messed up, and it is a little thicker model than on the motorcycles and mopeds. But I have these that are black instead, and comes from another two-wheel tractor that I tear down a couple of years ago. But I'll save this, so I'm gonna heat them up, try to get them off in one piece, and put it on there instead. I think that will be nice. I also bought new handles for those ones, and we're also gonna fix the brake. And the clutch works, but is a little bit out of adjustment, so we're gonna change that wire too. But our throttle works now, anyway. So here is the brake, the main brake, and that is just a small little wheel here on the gearbox with some brake pads in this steel band. So it should be a wire from the handle just clamps this together to get some brake. We're gonna fix that. So this is what I came up with: a little wire end there, a spring, another wire end here, so we're gonna see if it fits. I think that will work. So I'm gonna change the oil. That's better. It was a little bit grey, so better to have fresh new oil in, I find. Right on top. Perfect. So here is the oil level sight glass for the gearbox, and there is oil in, and the oil looks good, so I'm not going to change that right now. I'm going to wait a little while. So I will start this up again. I will check if it is a little bit wider. I think so.
that's going to be the end of this episode, because this is going to be a long video anyway. And I didn't want to go up a couple of kilometers in the forest to find me a muddy hole for it, because the tracks, as you can see, are a bit sloppy, so I have to remove one plate on each track. Then I think it's going to be great. Then we're going to find a fuel tank, make some last adjustments, then we're going to take it up in the forest, and drive on steep hills, take it down to a muddy hole, some water maybe. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video. That will help me out a lot. And don't forget to leave a comment down below. Just say hi if you wonder something about the machine, about me or anything. So yeah, thanks for watching. I see you next time. I love you. Have a great day.